Hey, this is the real estate market update video for condos and townhomes in Las Vegas Valley for August of 2024, where we look at the July 2024 numbers. We look at those in comparison to June 2024 and annually back to July of 2023. I want to go through this kind of quickly this month because I'm behind on video production and really busy. But anyhow, let's just go ahead and dive right into the numbers. We'll start with condos. Condo median sold price $248,000. That is down. It's down kind of a substantial 2.7% from $255,000. Now, I do want to point out, though, May of 2022 had been the prior peak where we'd gotten up to $250,000. So June of 2023, we got $5,000 over that. We had a really pretty big jump in prices. And so we've given that part of that big jump back. So I don't think you should read anything negative into this. We are now actually $2,000 below the May 2022 pricing peak, sold pricing peak. So we are down $7,000 from where we got to in June. But I don't think that's actually a big issue. I think that's simply a little bit of statistical correction from a big jump, and that actually prices are continuing to go higher. Time will tell if I'm right, but I believe that that's actually what's taken place here. Now, we are up 7.8% from July of 2023 when we were at $230,000 mean sold price on condos, median price condos. Interestingly, being up 7.8%, we're actually a little more rapid appreciation than what we saw in the single-family housing market, where we're up 7.3% on that same year-over-year statistic. Okay, so that's pricing for condos. What about demand? We look at sold and we look at pending. Sold numbers first. These are transactions that have closed. They had been pending, went into escrow, and then they've actually closed. 359 condos closed in July of 2024. That is up 2.0% from 352, or 7 units, higher than what we saw closed in June of 2024. We are up a fairly significant 8.7% from the number that we saw closed in July of 2023. But what about the pending numbers? We had 349 pending contracts written, not yet closed, in July of 2024. That number is down 4.1% from the 364 that had been written in June. It is up very substantially, 21.9% from the 294 that we saw written in July of 2023. But remember, 2023 volumes were really, really low. So two things. One, pendings came down, even though solds went up slightly. Pendings came down, and they came down a little more steeply. And the pending number at 349 is 10 below the sold number for July at 359. And so that's a little concerning. We might see that transaction volume is actually slowing, or demand is actually slowing a little bit in the condo space as we end July of 2024. So don't get too concerned about it. This may simply be an issue with seasonal adjustments, because we do typically see slowdowns in Las Vegas in the July and August timeframe, because that's the seasonal pattern that we get here in the Valley. But so it is notable we are seeing that, or something like that. Okay, what about supply? The supply numbers. That's number of for sale units, as well as the number of newly listed for sale units. And so we look at both of those to get an idea of the inventory or supply side of the market. 1,062 for sale condos at the end of July. That's down 2.7%, or 30 units, from the 1,092 condos that were listed for sale at the end of June. So that's actually not great news. It's not a big drop, but we're so tight on inventory as a general statement that's a little bit problematic. We are way up on inventory from where we were last year Again, last year was incredibly constrained. So we're up 37.4% from the 773 that we saw listed for sale, being for sale, standing inventory in July of 2023. So we are double supply from the bottom that we had reached in the sort of March, April timeframe in 2022. So that's really good. But that was historically low inventory on the condo market, and we're sitting at less than half, a little bit less than half of what's normal for the market. So we're still constrained on inventory here. Don't let anyone claim to you otherwise and cause you to be concerned. Tight inventory. Okay, but what about newly listed condos? Well, that number is more problematic, actually. We saw 506 newly listed condos for sale enter into the market in July of 2024 relative to June. 545 were down 7.2%. So that's a pretty substantial drop month over month. We are up again from the very unusual year of last year. From 395, we are up 28.1%. But this is I don't want to say an acceleration, but this is a continuation of weak inventory numbers here in the condo market. Now, not as weak as we see in single family homes, and not as weak as we're going to see when we look at the townhome data in just a minute. But I want you to know, so demand sort of flat, maybe down just slightly in July, and supply definitely coming a little bit lower in July for condos. Okay, back on market numbers, 170. That's 32.1% of all of the contracts that had been written for condos failed, came back into the market, remains 3 times higher than what it should be. This is actually going to become, in all likelihood, a bigger problem going forward. Make sure you're finding out what's going on here. Talk to me, talk to whomever, but have it be explained to you, because if you're not able to understand what's going on, the person explaining it to you is probably not knowledgeable about what they're saying. And if they're making up something that's just too simplistic, so it's like super easy to understand, that might be an indication they don't know what they're talking about. They're just making things up. So find people who know what they're talking about. Again, I'm Justin Miller, co-founder and principal at the Chong Miller Group. I'd be happy to help you understand this and see how it can help you or hurt you with your transactions, whether you're a seller or a buyer. Okay, that's townhomes. That's condos. Let's move our attention to townhomes. Before we do, please subscribe, smash the like button and the notification bell. If you find these videos helpful, please let your friends, your neighbors, your family, your colleagues, whomever, see these videos, share the link with them, or ask them to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help them. All right, townhomes, median sale price. July 2024, $346,300. This is up. It's not up a lot, but it's up $1,300 from the $345,000, up 0.4%, so almost 0.5% higher than what we had seen in June of 2024. We are also up 6.4% year over year from the $325,000 that we saw in July of 2023. Now, slightly less than single family home sale increase of 7.3%, a bit less than the 7.8% year over year increase that we had seen on prices for condos. So, but prices went higher. Unlike condos, prices actually went higher in July. Okay, demand measures for townhomes. 197 townhomes sold, closed escrows sold in July of 2024. That is down. It's down from 210, or down 13 units, 6.2% from what we saw, number of transactions that closed in June of 2024. We're down 13.6% from the 228 transactions that we saw close in July last year. Okay, so what about pending, the other demand measure? Well, we saw 180 contracts written, not yet closed, in July of 2024 for townhomes. That's down also from 201 that we had seen written in June. So that's a decrease of 10.4%. And we're down a very substantial, almost 25%, 23.4% from the 235 contracts that were written, went pending in July of 2023. Now, I do want to also point out, as I did with condos, the 180 pending contracts in July is below the 197 sold contracts in July, which suggests some serial weakening. We are down month over month on solds, and we're down from sold to pending for July, which suggests we may see some further transaction deterioration in the townhome space in the month of August. So looking forward. So nothing certain, but expect that we may see. And now this is partly seasonal because July and August are slower months in the Las Vegas Valley real estate market than are the months leading up to or the months after. But that's what it looks like we're aiming at for the month of August when that data comes out. So that's the demand side. Supply side for townhomes, 475, exactly flat with the 475 that we saw in June. This is down 1.2%, so not very much, but down from what we saw in July of 2023, 481. This represents just about 2 months worth of supply in the townhome space. It's a third of what we should be seeing. So very tight inventory. That's the story here as well. Now, remember, inventory gets used up by pending sales and closed transactions. Inventory also increases, supply increases with newly listed resale townhomes. And so how did that look? We saw 290 newly listed resale townhomes come into the market. That's up 12%, so quite substantially from the 259 that we saw enter into the market in June. It's also up the exact same 12.0% from the 259 that we saw enter into the market in July of 2023. So finally, we're seeing some new entrants into the market, but remember, that was only enough to hold us exactly flat on the standing inventory. So better news, but not great news with regard to supply on townhomes. We'll see, but I believe that demand will continue to front run supply as a general statement as we go through the end of this year. Remember that we are working into a period of significant uncertainty around the election, around potential government shutdown, around other things to be uncertain about, around the interest rate environment. So we could see some real slowing in demand as we go through the end of this year. Hopefully not, but there is that possibility, so be aware of that. That also, though, could pull back some of the supply with the uncertainty there as well. Okay, one other note, and that is back on market. 80 townhomes that had gone into contract fell out, came back on the market in July. That is 28.9% of all of the townhome contracts fell out, did not close, in fact, just came back into the market. So 3 times what this should be. It's a discouraging number. Do some research, talk to people, find out what's going on. We deal with this all the time, and we're very good because we understand what's driving these back on market numbers. We're very good at helping our clients figure out how to avoid having a failed contract and ending up back in the marketplace, whether you're a buyer looking for another home in a very low inventory market, or a seller thinking, well, what's going on? I'm discouraged, but I have to put my property back in the market. Maybe it's causing you consternation or pricing pressures or other things like that. So anyhow, that's it for the townhome and condo market update for August of 2024. Again, if you find these videos to be interesting or helpful, please share them with your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, your family members, whoever it is that you think might be interested in engaging in a real estate transaction, because having better knowledge will make them better capable of engaging productively in the market. Having demand that looks more stable, having supply that looks like it's going to actually successfully go through a transaction. I am Justin Miller with the Chung Miller Group. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.